Okay. In 2002, I don't know the exact date, but when I read the eval, I'll have the exact date, but in September of 2002, I think it's September 17th, I may be mistaken, but on or about September 17th, 2002, I was sent, or made to, because, the courts can forcibly take you, just like they did, Carrollton County did, the Louisiana shooter. That's tied into this, but they took him off and said he was crazy, and he wasn't crazy. He ended up crazy, because, well, only a crazy person would do what he did. I do not agree with what he did. I can understand it, but that's later on in the story. But back to when they made me go to Betsy Prince, and, I didn't want to be drugged off like he was, so I went for a psychological evaluation. It was at 309 Tanner Street, Carrollton, Georgia. There's a phone number. Okay, now you can go check, and I'm going to show you later. She don't have no license, okay? And this has already been confirmed and validated by many courts, other psychologists, police. So this is not no, quote, glitch of the computer, because that happens just the other day with one psychologist. So it ain't a glitch. She actually never had. Let me see. Here we're going. Let me find. This is where we're going. I'm gonna read a psychological. This is client name Celeste Cortez. Gender female. Evaluation date 9/16. Well, I said 17. One day off. 9/16/02. My age then was 28 years old and 3 months. The date of birth, it's got me as, in 74. I'm not going to give too much. It says, reason for referral. Okay, see, it says reason for referral. And here's a humdinger, because, see, she lied to the investigators and the state she said that I was sent for therapy and that I was so fucking crazy that she just felt the need to write a report, and she just accidentally wrote the report wrong and just called it a psychological assessment. Bullshit. Because her own report in her own type and then signed in her with her John Henry. Okay, it says reason for referral. John Stanfield, case manager of Carroll County Defects, requested the psychological, on Celeste. Now, let me repeat that. Didn't say requesting her to go to counseling, and she got so fucking crazy with it that she did a report like she told the investigators. Now listen, I'm going to report it again. It says, let's see if you can get it. Reason for referral. John Stanfield, case manager of Carroll County Defects, requested the psychological on Celeste due to concerns about her emotional stability and ability to appropriately parent her minor children. Okay. Educational vocational history. It says, according to Celeste, she completed her first freshman year of college at Gadsden State in Gadsden, Alabama. She stated that her work experience has been solely as a migrant worker, picking grapes in the fields of Brooks, Georgia, and tomatoes in the Steele, Alabama. Celeste indicates that she performed this work while attending college. Later in the interview, Celeste also indicated that she had worked in fast food establishment and in a sweatshop in Florida. Currently, living circumstances. Celeste reported that she currently resides at 300 O. Jones Road in Whitesburg with her husband, Primitivo Cortez, and their 2 sons, Francisco Primitivo, age 6, and Anthony Primitivo, age 3. History. Celeste reported the following social history. Now, this is where it gets to be a humdinger, because she'll go first, the third, and then her grammar is worse than mine, which I thought nobody could beat mine, except for a kindergartner. But a supposed psychologist? Hell, she's got grammar worse than me. But anyway, this is how it reads. If you don't believe me, click on the link. Go read it yourself. History. Celeste reported the following social history. Quote, I was the second child born to my mother. My mother is white, and my older sister is all white. My sister and I have different fathers. My mother was married to my sister's father, but left him shortly after my sister was born to return home to her family. Her family was originally from Texas, but had moved to Georgia. The family was very dysfunctional, into gambling, cockfighting, and production of moonshine. My mother left my sister with her parents and ran off to Texas to join the circus. When she became pregnant, she returned home again, but this time my grandparents would not let her stay because the baby, me, was of mixed origin, and they were prejudiced. My mother doesn't know who my father is. She says he is some Mexican, but she doesn't know which one. After my grandparents threw us all out, my mother put in for welfare in a government apartment in Griffin. She moved us into the government apartment. There were always men present in my mother's life. Before she married, there was a string of boyfriends. One of the boyfriends molested both my sister and me. A neighbor who was not mentally stable molested us as well as a brother of his. At age 5, Mother married and moved us into a Section 8 home. I legally lived with my mother until age 12, but really I lived with the neighbors, a Native American Indian family. I ate at the neighbors and slept at the neighbors. The Indian family had a son who was 6 years older than me. I was essentially his love slave. His family knew about his relationship with me, but they did not try to intervene. I stayed around because their house was a better place than mine to be. When I was 12, the Indian family that had provided my primary care moved to the, alright, let's go find the next page. Indian Reservation in Cherokee, North Carolina. The same year, I was in an automobile accident, which I was ejected from the car I was riding in. I suffered a brain injury and was in a coma for about a month. They performed brain surgery on me without anesthesia because my brain was swelling and the anesthesia could cause more swelling. After my release from Scottish Rite, I remained at home for about 9 months while I recovered from my head trauma. After age 12, I lived from here to there with various cousins, etc. At age 15, I joined the Job Corps and was sent to Kitchener, North Carolina, where she was awarded a high school diploma. Now see how it goes from first person to second person? Because she started this off quoting me, okay, which the bitch has to be delusional if that's her perception of what I said. But anyway, but see, then this is where it jumps to she was awarded a high school diploma. Now, she jumped from first to second to third because if I thought she was quoting me. But anyway, so let's start back. She was awarded a high school diploma. At age 17, she enrolled at college in Georgia. Now, wouldn't it be at age 17, I enrolled at Gordon College? And really, even a schizo don't talk like this. This bitch is mental. But anyway, because here she goes back to like me saying it, I was having difficulty with my English courses. I transferred to Gaston College where they offered ESOL as English requirements were less stringent. First of all, hell, strategic or whatever, that ain't even in my vocabulary. Hell, when they give me the IQ test and they were to put that word up there, I wouldn't even know what that meant. So that bitch is lying about me saying this word for word. Anyway, After I met my husband, who was picking tomatoes, I terminated college and began picking tomatoes. My grandfather would say, you know why niggers and spicks and wops' eyes are black? 'Cause they are full of shit. And then there's a quotation mark in there. So it's quotation within a quotation mark. Well, that might be right. I ain't too good at English, but that seems a little bit odd. I believe it would have been better to have married a white guy and put up with the derogatory. There's another word I sure hell wouldn't have used. So, but see, if she's quoting me, how the hell is she quoting me if it's words I'd never even use, even if I did say that? I mean, I'd have said it, if I would have said this, I'd have said it in a whole lot different, probably more ignorant way. But anyway, derogatory remarks. Then to have to endure what we went through. After tomato season, my husband said he knew where we could get a job. It turned out to be a sweatshop in Alta, Florida. After 3 months, my husband and I left and went to Mexico, where we were not married yet, but I learned I was pregnant, but, he put me on the bus to the U.S. for the baby, so the baby could be an American citizen. DHS got involved with my life after where's the quotation mark where she's ending, unless it's here, but then again, there's another one. See what I'm saying? This bitch is crazy. Ignorant as hell, at least. Because, well, no, she gotta be crazy. To do this, she gotta be crazy. Cause it triggered a whole bunch of shit. Anyway, DFACS got involved with my life after someone reported that I beat my dogs and beat my kids. My husband, 2 sons, and I were living in a excuse me, a slum house in a nice neighborhood. We were paying $1,000 a month rent to live in this neighborhood. I was not working, but I received disability for being paralyzed. I am paralyzed, but I walk because I am Christian. Wait a minute. Somewhere she's done gone back to me talking again. I guess she's still quoting me in first, second, third, I don't know. Because I am paralyzed, but I can walk because I'm a Christian. My husband was working as a laborer in construction. My 6-year-old son is special needs child. Is a special needs child. Well, I guess just me reading. He only began talking last year. He hadn't even started talking yet, but anyway. He has been slow to develop. He and I were in a bus. He must have been talking about Paco. I thought he was talking about Tony. Or maybe who the hell knows that she's the one making the story up. And I was in a bus accident. Only reason I'm thinking he might be talking about because me and Paco was in an accident. But anyway, we were the only survivors. Oh, hell. Only survivors? Dude, most people did die. There were 6 survivors. And we were 2 of the 6. And everybody's ever talked to me, it's always been 2 of the 6. But anyway, I homeschool my son because he is big for his age, and they want to put him in a grade 2 high for his abilities. The heater in the house in Noonan poisoned us with carbon monoxide. Now, my younger son cannot talk. He is being tested for autism on Wednesday of this week. I learned that carbon monoxide also sets off the smoke alarm. Our smoke alarm was going off all the time. We finally had to unplug it. And there's the end of the quotation marks. First of all, who in the hell talks like that? First, second, third. Maybe a schizo. But I want to ask you this. If you're there to do an evaluation, Oh, wait a minute. That's right. She's saying she didn't do an evaluation. At least she told the investigators that. Who the hell pulls out a fucking laptop and start quoting somebody word for fucking word? Now, let's say it was a psychological and she's lying about it because she knows her ass is doing something illegal. And she ain't even damn smart enough to half-ass pull it and make it look half-ass. She's a shitty job, dude. Kind of obvious, ignorant as fuck. Now how in the hell this Betsy DeVant's gonna be head of the education. Well, anyway, all right, get back away from politics. But anyway, who in the hell does a therapy word for word? Okay, and how you just sitting there listening, typing? How the hell is that gonna help me? Now, if she is doing a psychological and she's just lying about it to keep her ass from getting in trouble, or trying to, is that what you do for psychological? You just sit there and type and listen to me just go like one subject to another subject. Dude, this is all over the place. It's very fucking tangible. Even I say it's tangible. Hell, and I'm usually very fucking tangible. I'm usually all over the place. Hell, my English is almost, well, no, my English ain't this bad. Okay, my thought process now is pretty bad, and it's still better than this. Okay, so how in the hell can she help me if she don't understand what I'm saying? She just typing everything, just, and not even intervening. Okay? And why would you do it like a transcript anyway? Why would you be like quoting me? And if you was, you'd make sure your ass could do it right instead of, anyway. Celeste claims her relationship with her husband is good. So I guess she's going back now. She's given her perspective of what I said. She indicates that they moved to Whitesburg when her family's boss offered to sell them the house. She tells me that her husband cannot speak English very well. That's about the only damn thing that's true in this whole damn report. When I inquired if Celeste was on medication, she stated that she had once checked herself into a mental hospital because her mother kept telling her she was crazy. Well, where the hell she got that? She must pull that out of her ass. She went on to say that the hospital told her she didn't have any mental problems. Okay, that's good. Why in the hell was I there then? Okay, they can't keep their story straight. It says current psychotropic meds. Celeste indicates that she does not currently take any medication, but that she should be taking Neurontin for contractions. Actually, no. Neurontin is for the pain that from Guillain-Barré syndrome. But anyway, and then it says, it goes on to her claim of my IQ test, which I can prove that was a lie. Because I take a lot of tests on what happened, and that's actually what happened. Okay, is they like to shit when they saw how smart I was. It talks about, okay, appearance, behavior, manner of relating. Celeste presents as a young woman of short stature and slightly overweight build. She has long, dark, curly hair, dark brown eyes, and olive skin. Celeste maintains adequate eye contact and appears eager to tell her story. Often I had to redirect her attention. Okay, well, where in the hell was that in her quoting word for word? Okay? Why did she put, but I redirected her. That's why it started, and interrupted me, and you know what I mean? Why wasn't that in the quotations? She's an idiot. To continue, she tended to get hung up on elaborate details after going back and embellishing her story. Motor, active physical symptoms. Celeste posturing at times appeared tense and anxious. She spoke of having an unusual gait, which, according to her, was a result of being paralyzed. No such gait, however, was noted. Okay, this right here, dude, big red flag. This bitch knew what she was doing in line because a EMG, you cannot fake a fucking EMG. And anybody look at my recent EMGs, hell, we'll do one today. And I was a whole lot worse then. Look at my EMGs back then. There is no way the bitch did not notice that I had AFO prosthetics on and was walking like some person with fucking polio. Really, get the fucking experts, not the lying piece of shit covering up motherfuckers. Get them on here on the case. This woman is, holy crap. There's no way this woman didn't see that. But anyway, Communication skills, speech and language. Celeste demonstrates good receptive and expressive language skills. She incorporates many colorful adjectives in her dialogue. Thought content, process, and association. Celeste associates appear in contact. Her thought content and processing is delusional. Okay. Memory and orientation. Celeste demonstrates no problem with her short-term memory skills, but her long-term memory skills are affected by her delusional thought content. Okay, so let's think about this. So it ain't the future, it's just the past. Okay, so does that mean that everything that I say happened, that this triggered, is not a delusion? Okay? Because she's saying that, I seem to be fine now. It's just the past. The shit that I was trying to tell, okay? Because, well, just wait. That's kind of odd, too. Because if somebody's delusional and schizophrenic, you don't just have delusions about the past or things that are alleged against your ass. Oh, and she's fine about everything else. She's just delusional about me being involved in any kind of organized crime or connected to, or her husband that supplies to my family. Oh, no. Yeah, right. Bullshit. All right. Celeste effect as libel. One moment she was laughing, enjoying her report, and the next tears were in her eyes and her voice was quivering. My impressions are that Celeste's mood is generally unstable. Elevator's estimate of validity test results. Celeste's score on the place her IQ something in the middle of the average range of intelligence. Okay, and then she says diagnosis for impression. Now see, this bitch diagnoses me. And when you go to see what her license is, she's only a educational therapist, which is why she lied about she was there about therapy, about homeschooling Paco. See, she lied. But then again, she's too stupid. She actually told on herself in her own damn report. And then she diagnoses me as delusional disorder to rule out bipolar and schizophrenia. So, how in the hell does the police believe that she made innocent mistake? Hell, she diagnosed. Okay, let's just say her story's true. Let's just say she accidentally was in a fog or something when she wrote at the beginning that I had been sent there for her to evaluate me, because she told on herself in her own report, right? But let's just say that wasn't there, or we just pretend it ain't there. Let's say her story's true. I was just there for therapy. Educational therapy to help me educate my boy and to realize that he needed to go to public school where he could be called a wetback. Okay, it put in color and he didn't deserve special tutoring and Christian homeschool program. And one-on-one tutoring. He's a wetback. He's supposed to go to school, be in special ed, and just color all the time. But anyway, let's just say that's true, right? And you realize I'm just this fucking crazy and you gotta do something. Wouldn't you call the police, and drag me off? I mean, it ain't like you can't. Or to make me go to a psychologist who can diagnose me? Why would you write up a report, lie and say that I was sent there for you to do evaluation on me, and diagnose me, knowing your ass can't do neither? Because you ain't licensed to do so. How in the hell's the police gonna believe that? Oh, I know how. Joel Richards is the police down there. Yep. And guess who owns the building where this shit was done at? Oh, Fred Richards. He is the psychologist that is in the same building. They have I don't know what you call it. They have a building, they, quote, work together. But he made sure he ain't the one that saw me. Oh, when I asked him she ain't under me. No, she did this by herself. That's what he's saying now. And been saying for probably the last 10 years, even though this happened 15 years ago. 5 years ago, this motherfucker been saying, nope, she did this all by her lonesome. But it was in his building. Okay? Same insurance and all that. So, But I tell you, that's why it didn't go nowhere. Joel Richards, chief of police, it's a Richards, and all them detectives down there, there's a shitload of them that are Richards. And that's who Primo supplied to. Was the Richards, the Prince, the Baxters, and the Camps that built for the Cousins. Now, that might not mean nothing to y'all, but all the big rig politic people know. And there's Bush Realty down there, and one of the Bushes lives in Noonan. Yep. One of the Bushes live in Noonan. So, and then you have the Clintons, Point of Light Foundation. Oh, you just, dude. Now we're getting somewhere. But the police wants to believe that she was just supposed to do an evaluation on me, and that I got her talking so crazy she had to do this report. Even though her own damn report says that I was sent there. I was made to go there so she could do an evaluation on me. And there it is. She diagnosed me. And guess what? She signs it. Let's see if we can go to the fourth one. How to get this? Alright, close that out. Where is it? Down here. Go to number 44. There it is. See, she signs it. Now, I want to go back to something, because I want to read this, where she says, my most obvious delusion is that I was born in the United States. Okay. Amy, it's somewhere around here. Okay, summary and comments. Here it is. My impression of Celeste are that she is suffering from delusional disorder. There are many contradictions in the story she tells. One of the most obvious occur after her story about being born in the U.S. and being raised. Let's see. I could go. There it is. Being raised by people other than Hispanics. Then later, while performing the IQ test, given the answer first in Spanish, then translating in English. Generally, one thinks in his or her native tongue and translate to his and her second language. Celeste is definitely delusional with prosecutory theme throughout her thought content. My recommendation is that she is referred to a board-certified psychiatrist for a complete psychiatric evaluation for continued care. My sense is that appropriate psychotropic drugs could improve her emotional stability and daily functioning. I recommend that this subject of psychiatric treatment be approached in a general manner with Celeste. She becomes agitated and I imagine resists when she feels that someone thinks she is crazy. Yeah, she actually put crazy in this damn thing. Celeste believes her story that she tells, and for her they are real. Rather than saying she is crazy, I recommend that she is told that obviously life has been difficult and that it is important for her to see a doctor who can prescribe medication to help her cope with life better. At this point, my feeling are the children are still best placed with her. I have not received any information in the contrary. I would be optimal for her 6-year-old to re-enter public school where he can establish other relationships and where his development progress can more easily be monitored. See, that's the thing. They want to know who the hell I'm talking to. They want to know before I tell the wrong person, because if I tell the right Americans, they going to start working together to expose this shit. And then they going to call us all Russians to cover it up, to try to make it, get us arrested before people realize we're telling the truth. But anyway, I just read the psychological that started this shit. Now, you, as an American, need to decide. Do you believe this shit? Go read it. Read it. Read it. Hell, you might want to read it while I'm talking about it, so you can better understand what I'm saying. You go read this shit. And you decide. Alrighty? First of all, what the hell's up with this shit? And then second, go look and see if the bitch has got a license. Go see if the bitch has got a license. Go to the Georgia license and see if Betsy Prince has ever been a psychologist. Now, she's a licensed educational therapist, but she can't do no diagnosis. And why does her paper say I was sent there for an evaluation if she ain't even allowed to do evaluations? Why did she lie to the police? Why was the police stupid enough to believe that shit? And how come they didn't get a other person for, like get another county or another police to investigate because of the conflict of interest? I mean, really? You gonna get a Richards to investigate Richard? Especially with this person, her allegations is that her husband supplies to these people and there's a cover-up. See, this shit stinks. And they want to say we're crazy. Well, I think after you saw how the Richards sucking babies out, and then that prince that stabbed his grandma with the sword, I'm gonna put that up. You tell me who's more fucking crazier. Well, the looks of the way she wrote this shit, hell, she's not only more ignorant than I am, and that's hard to beat when it comes to my grandma, but she sure did top it. Their damn family tops the crazy.